Well, Erin Energy Corporation, the JSE code ERN and the short name Erin, that's what used to be called KMAC Energy. It's not a company we discuss very often on the show, and I don't know if the big investors are interested in that, but that's your short for the day. Why is that?
Yeah, look, I'll admit, in a way, I'm picking on this company a bit because of the oil price. They're largely in that space. They're a US-based oil and gas exploration company. They've got a few oil wells in the east and west of Africa. The largest part of their business is in Nigeria. It's a very interesting company because it's one of the few oil-focused companies listed on the JSE. And I think why I picked this is to highlight the big difference between this one and Sasol. We know the oil price is going down. It is going to affect Sasol price negatively over the short term. But Sasol has a lot of great assets and it can ride that out. Where this company, already when it came into the JSE, had very big problems. It was seen as a penny stock on the New York Stock Exchange until the PIC put in something like $270 million into it.
I remember that, and people said, isn't this a risky investment? Is there someone benefiting here? Because is this the kind of company that you put the pension money of the government employees into when there's no prospect of huge, firstly, no prospect of huge returns, and secondly, a company in trouble?
It's always been very speculative. And a company like this, which we're seeing the huge drop in the oil price, is really going to suffer because just looking at it, even if we had a huge increase in the oil price, would not fix their problems. And their problems are cash. They're not very liquid. They hold a lot of debt. They need even more money to number one, to maintain their existing wells and to carry on exploring. So this huge drop in the oil price is a really, really big concern.
And is the PIC still a big investor?
They're still a big investor there, funny enough. I think...
well, I suppose it can't get out.
Yeah, I mean, speculating, but I think it's one of those, you know, you're already in. If you exit now, you realize the loss. So hopefully there's something there that we don't know. And it's one of those, we already said mining is a long-term game. So perhaps down the line, we should see a turnaround, but it's very far from being profitable. And I just highlighted this to show that just this huge change in the oil price, a company like this, which has cash problems, is now really going to suffer.
Can really sink it. Yeah, so that's a good one to short. And then your long has been Standard Bank.
Standard Bank, fantastic business. And the backbone of the Standard Bank story currently is its Africa story. Okay, so there's an outlook that future growth, or for any investor looking for really big growth, is not in the developed markets, it's in the Africa space. Now, one of the big holders in Standard Bank is the Industrial Commercial Bank of China.
It's 20%, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So the Africa growth story is really Chinese investment. So we've already spoken about the recovery in the Chinese market. We expect them to carry on going into Africa and building that infrastructure, and Standard Bank will carry on to benefit from that investment. I mean, you look at most equity funds and the top 10 holding will be Standard Bank, and it's because of that it's because of that Chinese story or the Chinese banking. They have an infrastructure second to none when it comes to banking on the continent. They're already making 20% of their profits just from their Africa business. And what I like about that is a lot of that Africa business is on the corporate side. They're still to really develop the retail bank in terms of their African footprint. They have big expectations of that. And once that comes in line and is really cooking with gas, if I can put it that way, hopefully you should see earnings and profits rise. So I love Standard Bank and I'm long on that.
Standard Bank about 10 years ago, I think, was the darling, the blue chip. Everyone was Standard Bank. And First Rand's taken over that kind of reputation now.
Yeah. I mean, First Rand, what they've done very well, especially in our market, is innovation. And I see this also on the asset manager side, is that you have some companies innovating and you're seeing clients flock to them. And what that highlights as an example is we're in a market where we know that there's very few shares or companies that will give you 40 or 50% growth. So now for an investor, it's more about what are the added benefits, and the future is technology and innovating around that, which is the F&B story. But if you look at Standard Bank, it's really their Africa story, which I don't think any of the banks currently can compete with them.
Well, you've made convincing cases for both Erin Energy and Standard Bank, short and long respectively.